just record, we can't live stream.
That's 7 o'clock. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We'll call a meeting to order. Tobias, if you want to take roll call.
Henning.
Here.
Graham.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
Richards.
Here.
Osby.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Short prayer here. Dear Father, in the midst of all this confusion and concern, please help us to the calm of your presence. Allow us to find hope and healing. Be with those who serve the sick and give them your caring hands. Be with those who lead and give them your spirit of wisdom. Be with those who have fallen ill and give them your comfort. Wrap your arms around us, our world, and hold us in your love. Allow us, all of us, to be instruments of your love to all we meet. We ask in your name. Amen. Motion to approve the posted agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Consent calendar. Is there a motion to approve, or does anybody have anything they want to lift off or talk about? A motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Public hearings. Special event liquor license for 10/10/20. The Crooks Community Child Care Center for a fundraiser. We need to have a motion.
Well, I have to, anyone for or against it? Oh, I just need a motion.
Motion to support. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. B is special event liquor license for 5/28/20, the Crooks Volunteer Fire Department. Is that community days, if it happens?
Yes.
Anybody else want to ask or speak about it? Is there a motion in favor?
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. And one more special event liquor license for November 25th, 20, the Crooks Fire Department, and that I believe is for when they do the dueling piano fundraiser. Anybody here? Okay. Is there a motion in favor?
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Now we have a petition for variance. Evan and Kelsey Murphy, Lot 8 in Block 7 of Sunset. And that was for the house that's already there. I think they're getting close to move in, but this was to clear up the part in our ordinance where it has to be built on site. This was a home built in Madison. So do we need a motion on that too? So is there a motion to approve the variance?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Amendment to the Crooks zoning regulations pertaining to the regulation of storage units. And this is the first reading?
This is the hearing.
Pardon?
This is the hearing.
Okay, so we're gonna need a vote on that too.
Yeah, just do a motion and ask if someone's for or against.
Okay, is there anybody here to speak about that? Okay, is there a motion for the amendment to the zoning regulations?
So moved.
I think Scott was just cleaning up. I know he updated it a year and a half ago.
Remember Tobias, what he specifically, you can call him, like what the specific changes were, was it the landscaping and the?
Yeah, it's essentially protecting, I guess, residential districts. It amends light industrial, heavy industrial when it requires it can't be within 100 feet of a residential district. It has the materials, I guess, hazardous materials provision in there. You have to put shrubbery around it so it's not visible. I mean, it's tightening it up and just, I guess, clearing it up because we had adopted mini warehouse design standards, so it's, I wouldn't say, I think it's a reasonable amendment. It was drawn up in conjunction with CCON. And this is, when P&Z out there hearing this was, I think, very well received, and the commission didn't have a problem with it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Is there a motion in favor of the amendment? Or, excuse me, we have a, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Open comments, Rob Reuter.
Yeah.
And we like, go ahead, speak loud if you can.
Okay. Yes, I'm Rob Leader, and I'm here to discuss, and you know, it says discuss keeping poultry in town, kind of a vague statement there. What I'm here for is on behalf of my 16-year-old sophomore at Tri Valley, just because it's COVID season, I'm not going to take him here with me tonight. He's an FFA student, like I said, sophomore at Tri Valley. They raise chicks at school. He bought some chick, he ordered some chicks from Tractor Supply. We got possession of them when they were literally 24 hours old at the end of January, in the hopes that middle of May we can have eggs. I'm not asking you to rewrite an ordinance or anything. We have kind of I want to say a special situation. We live exactly 4 blocks that way. We're on the wedge part of Hannah Circle. Our backyard neighbor is that Benson field you're looking at right there. We have our chicken coop. He bought a chicken coop. I don't know where he bought it from, but it's a manufactured one. And then we added a little structure in the back, all wrapped with chicken wire, to house his chickens. And we are 15 yards from Benson's lot line there. I didn't really want to move it any closer due to the farmer's spring and stuff like that. We have our garden there. We've never had any issues with our garden over the past few years. The way this all came into play is that a few weeks ago, one of the city cooks officials, workers came and was in the backyard, maybe checking the meter or something, and caught him. So my son was up tending the chicks, and he came and got me. I called Jenny, and she informed me at that time that Crooks did not have an ordinance supporting that. It was news to me. I told Jenny that when I talked to her, I was unaware of that. I came from Sioux Falls. We moved from Sioux Falls here in '06. We built, my wife and I did. I just assumed we're backyard neighbors with Sioux Falls. I was under the assumption we shared the same ordinances as Sioux Falls does. They're pretty lenient on that. It was news to us. We did it as more of a, something for our, like I said, our son to do. It's a, you know, they don't make any noise, they're all hens. We follow the same ordinance as Sioux Falls, no roosters. And basically where we sit, we have two neighbors, one on the east side of us, one on the west side of us. I've already spoke with both of them, they both can't believe that this is even being brought up, so they now know that you can't have chickens and cooks either. They're in full support of it. It's a great hobby. What I'm asking for, what he would like to do, once we got a letter from the city, state we had X amount of days and stuff to get rid of them, he wrote an email to Butch that very Sunday night, and I asked Butch if he could share it with you folks, just to read his side of things and his opinions of it, how passionate he is for these. Basically, all he's asking for is not to rewrite ordinance, but he just mentioned that maybe a variance, a grace period to get him through high school. Once he graduates high school, the summer after high school, when he goes off to college, the tickets would go with him or be sold or wherever. Don't know many colleges that are going to support him taking those, but that's basically asking for a grace period so he can finish his last year at Tri-Valley, FFA, and raise farm fresh eggs. Again, and he put right in the letter, if there are neighbors that are against it, he get rid of them. If there are neighbors that complain against it, he'd get rid of them. And we get signatures if it wasn't COVID season, but I still would do it. I can have them call up here with their verbal confirmation. Basically asking for a grace period, like it's simple as that. So, I get it, we're not pumped in somewhere else in Crooks where we have backyard neighbors. Again, that's why I say we're kind of at a very special situation where we're at. We have no backyard neighbors. The neighbors next to us can't see them unless they're in the backyard anyways. Kind of a special situation, I feel. So, just asking your grace on that, so. Thank you for listening.
Can I open it up for any other discussion? Anybody?
Am I allowed to comment?
Yes.
He's correct, the meter reader did find it. He urged Mr. Reuter call me, which he did, and he thought our ordinance was the same as Sioux Falls. I said, well, Sioux Falls only allows 6. Our meter reader counted 10. I had a conversation with him on March 26th. On March 27th, I sent him a letter and indicated parts of the ordinance that says no poultry, along with a host of other things. You each should have a copy of the letter that I mailed him. And I did not state the violation for this is $250. I did not state that in the letter because I assumed he would remedy it. It's pretty clear in the ordinance. The last time this was approached, it too was a lady that lived on the end of town, did not have any neighbors, was right up against the city limits, but still, it's in the ordinance, we cannot have poultry. And like I said,
That means you either have to permit it and regulate it, or not enforce your ordinance, or enforce your ordinance. But there's really no variance or conditional use that would apply in that situation like this.
It does, you know, I have the exact wording from the city of Sioux Falls, and it does say up to 6, and I discussed that with Jenny, she is correct. It says if more than 6 would be, or chickens or rabbits were to be permitted, the permit would require all neighbors within 100 feet of this property to approve. Again, the minimum amount, the reason 10 was chosen, and I flat out told them if you're following the ordinance of Sioux Falls, you can only have 6 hens, because you can't order anything less than 10 from Tractor Supply.
I would argue we have our own ordinance. That's Sioux Falls. Baltic does not allow them either. I mean, we worked hard in composing this ordinance, comparing other ordinances. We either enforce the ordinance as written, you know. I assumed it was taken care of since the letter was written to him on March 27th. Here we are, April 13th, and the chickens are still there. I assumed he would have found a remedy by now, as far as moving them out of town somewhere. But it's like Rick said, we either enforce our own ordinance or we don't, and what will be next, you know? A lot of parts of this ordinance do not agree with what Sioux Falls says or other cities, but this is Crooks. And the Crooks ordinance says they're not allowed, regardless of the neighbors agreed to it or not. That was the same situation with ducks on 4th Street. All our neighbors were for,